My name is Patrick, and I want to welcome you to our webinar. We're actually featuring changes in FormsDesigner today. We're going to be presenting these new features and bug fixes to you. This is 4.10. This is a major release for FormsDesigner. The last major release was, I believe, it was in August. And so we're going to be in this Halloween theme here with black cats and various other things going on just to keep you amused. And once again, welcome. Thank you for being here. We've got a lot of really cool demos to show you, a lot of people to talk to about what they've been working on, cool video, cool visuals. And mainly it's around FormsDesigner 4.10, 4.10. We also have a bonus thing at the bottom here that Jimmy's going to be talking about. So first of all, trick or treat. It is Halloween tomorrow in Japan, or the next day, wherever you're at. And so we're theming this webinar in the Halloween theme, and these are images generated from Grok. And anyway, the idea here is that we've got these new major features we've added. We're going to show you these, and we've got a lot of bug fixes as well. So Jimmy, which one of these bug fixes is worth highlighting? If you were to pick one or two, I mean, like would Rob? I see Rob's on the call. Would Rob worry about any of these? Would other people on the call worry about these?
And if they were using rich text boxes, they might want to make them read only. There are a couple of cases where the app crashed under various circumstances, so we I located those and fixed them. So I think those are very important. We always make app stability a top priority. You're muted, Patrick.
Thanks. So thanks for providing that update on the bug fixes. So the first feature up here is margins and borders, and Samyong is going to show you this. This is an improvement upon InfoPath Designer. Samyong, are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah, so we worked on improving the UI for especially the properties section for different controls and layout tables and cells. And so what we expect from this is that it would help user to design the form more intuitively. And so take an example for some of the changes that we have done here. Is that as you can see that for layout tables, the properties section, layout table cell, the properties section, control properties sections looks completely different now from what we used to have. As you can see that the rows and column addition are changed from drop-down selection where we needed more than one clicks to perform any one of the action. Now we can do this with a single click, and we can also change the back, say split cells and modify borders and merge cells from directly from the control properties without going to extra steps. And
Can you talk about the cell padding thing at the bottom here? This is interesting.
Yeah, cell padding and margin margin is not part of a table cells, but cell padding, you can see that it helps us understand what we are changing, and it is always confusing with cell padding and margins, and giving this graphical representation for cell padding and margin.
Can you just change it from 1 pixels to 20 at the top? Just do a quick change.
Yeah. Can you see that? Yeah, it has moved a bit for this particular, because it is enclosed by table layout. I think it is playing that role there. So we can change it that way. And if I click at some other controls like this text box, it will show margin and size and other properties that are related to text box. And if I select some other controls, their properties are also changed, and we can change the, we can see it added the borders like this. We can change the background color like this. So yeah, these are some of the changes that we have implemented in terms of UI change that would help a user to design the form intuitively, or yeah.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, so back to the presentation slides here. So the old approach was with InfoPath Designer was you get this thing on the left here with these drop downs, and we've tried to innovate and improve this to make it more visually representative. So you can, instead of having to parse text because you're an ape from Africa, right? And your brain is still processing images more readily than text. So we tried to help the apes. That's the goal here. Okay, and so the next slide is, sorry, I've just escaped out of this, but is combo boxes, and Samuel, you're up again. But the goal here was to actually implement this feature. One of the missing features, this last puzzle here, puzzle piece, one of the last puzzle pieces. We also have multi-selection list boxes coming. I think that's going to be next week. So we've got two controls that we had workarounds for, and we're going to show the workaround and show the new approach. But the workaround was so good that we decided not to support these for a few years. Well, finally, we're actually supporting this, and we want to do a shout out to David Blake in New Zealand, who helped convince us that this was worth doing. And anyway, this is Samuel. Do you want to show out? Sure.
Yes, of course. So I'm again opening this same form here. So this form has simple demonstration of how we have a workaround for combo box, which is by combining a logic and drop down list with text box. So I'll open this form in FormsSphere. So yeah, so with the drop down list, we can just select one of the options like banana, or if you want to like type something of our own. The workaround was to click on others, and with some logic, it would pop up this, it will show this text box, and we can type our other options like orange or something like this. And so what we are currently working on is providing a straightforward feature that would be a combo box.
And that yellow pencil on the right is what you click to revert back to the drop down. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it is a workaround for combo box, and now we are working on this new feature, combo box, which would allow us to design a form without using this workaround. Directly use the combo box. Let me just add few options for this combo box. And open this, refresh this form here in FormsSphere. As you can see that now we can see this combo box, and it will show some options like apple and bananas, and we can either select any one of them, as you can see here. And if I type this like orange, it can be, we can also type any options that we want to instead of selecting any one of the options.
If you select the same option as in the previous drop down, I would kind of expect it to show that. Select the previous drop down because they're bound to the same field, right? But you have a title. Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you changed the type. So the first character was capital. That's why. But this is showing that it's bound to the same field. That's good.
yeah.
Okay, great. Any questions on this from anyone? we are going to switch to the next thing here. Thanks, Samyong. Great job.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so back to our presentation. Yeah, so these combo box controls are important because you can't always predict what the drop-down values should be, and especially if well, it's just a good feature to have. So we had this workaround. We know that there are a lot of customers that use combo boxes before, and we, instead of spending the 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever to convert it to the workaround, we decided just to support the feature. And like I said earlier, the multi-selection list box is coming soon as well. You can still use the previous workaround, no issue, obviously, with that. So here's the demo screenshot here, which you kind of saw. Okay, last feature, and then we'll talk about the bonus. But Jimmy's going to show validation rules. This is the last remaining type of rule. So in InfoPath, we had action rules, formatting rules, and validation rules. And now we're supporting all of these as well in FormsDesigner. Validation rules was also a bit of a holdout. There is not a super popular feature, but and we didn't get pinged by any special person in some far off country to do this. We just did it. Jimmy?
Yep. Okay, so yeah, so we've now added the ability to add and modify validation rules in FormsDesigner. We've had them in Forms Viewer for quite a while now. So we can come in here and just click on any field. Let's go with the name field first. Let's just ensure that the name field has a value. So we just come in here. Name is blank would make it invalid. So please enter a value. For year of birth, let's do something a little more involved since it's a number. So we want to capture all the possible, all the years anybody could have possibly been born, but not anything outside of that. So first of all, let's make sure it's, invalid if it's blank. And then if it's less than what I'm going with is 1880, that would really capture the oldest person alive. Or it's greater than 2025. And then we want to switch this to an or. So if year of birth is blank, or it's less than 1880, or it's greater than 2025, say please enter a year 1880 and 2020. Okay. And then we'll do this postal code. Now, another thing we've added is the ability to copy and paste validation rules as you can with other rule types. So if I want to copy this, I just go, all right, I've got to select the rule, copy, and then paste it here. And because the condition was referring to the field itself, I need to just update that. So this is going to be postal code, and the screen tip can stay the same. The rule title. Let's just save what we've got so far. And I've got a little bit of logic on these buttons. The submit button, triggering validation. I'm going to talk a little more about that, but we're running the get errors command, which is going to trigger the validation, which you often want to do when somebody clicks submit. And then this button over here is using a QRules code called set validation mode. I'll talk a little more about that when I'm actually showing the form in action. So let's look at that now. So I come in here, let's put in 8. And we can see when I ran that get errors command, it validated everything. So here this says, please enter a value. Please enter a value. Please enter a year between 1880 and 2025. So as you can see, Forms Viewer's default behavior is to not validate right away, but validate when the get errors command is called. It will also validate if a field with a validation error is modified. So if I change this to a valid value, like 2010, about, it'll run the validation just on that field and check whether it was valid or not. So we have other modes of validation strategies. Another is to just run all the validation anytime any field is changed. So that's what I'm going to do here. If we're using a mode of after change. And what that is going to do is now anytime a field is modified, it's just going to validate everything right away. So if I put A, that's valid, but it changed it back, it's not valid. So you have a few different options in terms of how you want the validation to work. This functionality has been in Forms Viewer for a while. So it's also, you can see more information about these commands in the Qrules command builder. So check that out. And
we are, thanks to Hillary, we are actually shipping a new Qrules command builder in FormsDesigner, not the classic version, but the new version here by the end of the year. So that's another thing we'll be doing a webinar on shortly. Jimmy?
Yep. So that's it for validation rules.
Awesome. Any questions for Jimmy? So we're wrapping up this. We have one more big demo to show you here. And this is also going to be Mr. Rish, who is our senior dev lead. And you've been here now for how many years, Jimmy? It seems forever, like 17, 18 years.
Thereabouts, yeah.
So I want to just hats off to Jimmy here, high five or high 10 for this last year, because we've had two major innovations here at Qdabra internally this year. And the first was in April, May timeframe when Jimmy came up with a way to use Claude Code to reduce the amount of time for the developers. We've got, 4 developers here, Jimmy, Samyong, Sweta, and Hillary. And we actually showed in data that we reduced the amount of time from the estimate to the actual implementation by about 65% across the board. There's 60% for some people and 70% for others. 70% for Jimmy, 60% for junior devs. And that was huge, right? And we talked about this earlier this year, about this huge improvement that we made to automate, well, to help the developers quickly develop features for you. And that's why we got FormsDesigner done, this big release at the end of the Q2 in July. We released this feature parity release for InfoPath. Now you can say, well, feature parity, we still have these combo boxes and multi-selection list boxes. Yeah, we always kind of thought those were kind of corner cases, but customers reminded us that they weren't. And I want to do a shout out to Misty. I think we've got another feature, Misty, that we're doing for you that
I think that was the validation rules one. Was
okay
for her fun.
Yeah, Misty, you're here. Thank you for being here. So so we got a few of these other features remaining. We really appreciate your feedback because we're not, we don't want, we want to get your feedback, confirmation that we're done. At any rate, Jimmy came up with this other huge innovation just a month ago, which is called we're calling it Off-the-Leash. And this is using Claude Code in a more automatic automatic, I don't know, way. Jimmy, you could talk to this better. I should just shut up. Jimmy?
Okay. So yeah, for you, those of you who don't know, Claude Code is sort of a coding helper. It can help write code and do other tasks related to it. So what we've been doing is working on strategies to sort of facilitate it such that it can sort of work on its own and actually confirm what it's doing. It creates a feedback loop. So it makes changes and checks as it goes. And that allows us to just let it run in the background on a task while we're doing something else. And we come back, 20, 30 minutes later, and hopefully the task is completely done or at least close to it. So I'm going to give a little simple demo of that right now. So the first thing,
and the benefit to you guys is that we'll come back to the slide in a second, but the big benefit is that we're delivering features faster for you, our beloved customers, right? And because we've innovated and we're at this bleeding edge of AI development, we're able to deliver these features faster. Sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, sure thing. So that takes place in a command prompt. So first thing I do is a launch quad. Just dangerously skip permissions is what allows it to operate without asking us for permission for everything it does. And we run this inside a VM to make sure it can't do any damage to anything important. Just on the off chance that something odd happens. And then what I'm going to do now is run this custom command we've created called prepare for browser work that just sort of loads some information into it about how to work with our app in a browser, because that's going to be I'm going to be demoing its browser orchestration. And then I prepared some instructions for a simple little modification I'm going to do. And of course, it can do much more bigger and more elaborate changes, but just for demo purposes, I'm going to have it change a label in the FormsDesigner UI. So I prepared this sort of request for it. I say I'd like to make a change to the validation rule UI. Currently, it has a field labeled screen tip. I would like to change this to say screen tip when invalid. Please make that modification and then carry out these steps. Open the dev app with template name validation rules demo. Click on the year of birth field, which was from the form I just demoed. In the data fields pane, click the rules button, select the first validation rule, and then take a screenshot. So we're going to have it.
Can you show us the before real quick, what you just showed us before you run?
Yeah. Let me get that. So here that is. I'm going to have it. Where is it? Here. I'm going to have it modify this bit right here that says screen tip.
I see.
Okay. So I'm just going to paste that in. Okay, now it's going to go off and it's going to look at the app source code and sort of figure out what needs to change. Currently, it's doing a keyword search for screen tip.
It looks like is sauteing vegetables. What's going on?
Yeah, indeed. So it already found the part in the code that it needed to modify, so it has modified that file. Now it's going to start with the browser orchestration. So we've prepared some helper functions for common.
It seems hungry.
Yes, maybe it's around lunchtime in Claude world. Yeah, it's looking at some helper functions we've prepared in previous sessions for helping it to sort of navigate the app.
By the way, for those of you who have been worried about the slow speed of our support portal, we are working on that. We have identified this problem with the LLMs. I think it's because the API keys are old. I'm not sure, but it's been taking some of our customers 10 to 15 seconds to get an answer from our support portal. Now we're using, of course, the latest and greatest, LLMs there, but it's just taking too long. This is separate, right? Obviously, this is internal developer only, so this is not going to affect you in terms of the time. We're just showing you how we're using this technology to help improve the product that we serve to you. But for those of you who are using the support portal and also complain and worried about timing, we're working on that. Jimmy?
Yep. So it's already done. It's browser orchestration. I think it was so fast, some people might have missed it. So I'll actually ask it to do it again.
Well, I
In
mean,
case
come on,
anyone.
let's just show the results.
Well, we want to see it. We want to see it
I see.
navigating the app
I
because
see.
that's pretty
So
cool.
that's what was so fast. Okay, got it.
So, of course, we communicate with it in English. So I just ask it to do the orchestration again. It's running the script that it had already prepared a couple seconds ago. And you can see it's opening the pane. It clicked the validation rule, and then it took a screenshot. So, so then we just come over here, and here is a screenshot that it created, and with the updated text.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome job. Okay, well, we're really appreciate everyone's presence here. We are going to switch back, and we have a training class coming in December, and we are almost sold out on this. Way to go, Jimmy. Great job on this.
Yep.
So the training class is the first week of December, December 2nd through the 5th. It's a 12-hour commit for you, and we will give you a credit for your support plan. I don't know if this is appearing here in the slides, but we do give a credit of $1,000 if you finish the class and all the labs. There are going to be 12 labs, right, Nima?
Yes.
The key thing about this class, which is different from previous ones, is this is an end-to-end enterprise solution. From the beginning, we're creating a solution for a real enterprise solution. So this is actually for a bug tracking solution that we used for almost 20, actually more than 20 years, called FogBugs. And we're showing how to build FogBugs from scratch using Qdabra forms, including the workflow, obviously the form itself, the UI, the web client, the dashboard for managing multiple items, reporting, and so on. So we're going to be showing all of this end to end, and this is really useful because this is really proving to you that yes, indeed, Qdabra Forms can actually do all of this from scratch. And so this is day one here, main data source. We're going to walk you through this. And the real setup here is to set this up for Q1. We're going to be helping to automate this process even further using a chatbot maybe in FormsDesigner. We're not sure. We love your feedback. But we think we can actually take this 12-hour process and get it down to 3 or 4 hours. So we'll be, we have 20 seats available. I think that 15 or 16 have been spoken for. So if you haven't registered, please do. I think this link actually points to the registration, or maybe not, but you should have gotten an email. If you didn't get an email, please chat in the Teams here, and we'll send you a link. I want to thank everyone for being here. Any questions for us? I think we have, how do we do questions here? We have a way to do questions, questions and answers. So no questions yet. Okay, and if you have just comments, that's fine too. But yeah, Chris Rob.
We have a question from Robert in chat.
Oh, great. Yeah, go for it. Hold on, I'll get it. What is screen tip and dialog box? Is that a pop-up prompt type feature? I think this is for Jimmy. Jimmy?
Yeah, so currently that's something that's just in FormsDesigner for backward compatibility purposes. We should probably add some text explaining that. That is a feature that InfoPath had. FormsViewer does not have it. Yeah, there are forms that already have that setting, so we make it accessible so people can see whatever value is already there. But we should add some guidance text indicating that it's something we don't currently support. But if there is enough interest, we could add it. People tend to not like pop-ups very much, but there's always that possibility.
Great question. Any other questions? Thanks for the thumbs up. We look forward to having you in the train. We're really pushing on the train class. We got a lot of, it's all new content. We're putting a lot of effort into it, so we would love to have you there. Like I said, it's not only free. You're actually going to be getting money for part of this. If you attend the train class and you complete the labs, you'll get $1,000 credit, right, Jenny?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, awesome. And this may be the last webinar we do for a month or so before the training. I don't know. We might have another webinar, but thanks for being here. I hope you have a great day, and we'll get this posted on YouTube and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.